Hi everybody.
Hi, my name is John Biddle.
And my name is Sam Biddle.
And welcome to the podcast.
I hate this book.
And it's a new one because we finished Harvester.
I know.
And you feel a bit bereft with that then?
Well, I don't know. I just, do you know what I keep thinking of is that we've gone through pretty much a whole year.
Yeah.
And when we started Harvester, it was super hot.
Yeah.
Like really hot. And I don't know. It just I remember the weekend we started Harvester. And I just think, gosh, so much has happened in that year. That's all I keep thinking of. So much has happened in that year. So much. I don't think I'd forget it, whereas I am a forgetful person.
So we're almost coming out of lockdown now, aren't we?
We are. Well, we're pretty much out. We can go to the beach if you want to without fear of getting
We saw our children.
We did see two of our children.
Two of our children, yes. Jordan and Jen went.
Yeah,
lovely.
It was lovely. We spent outside. We're so lucky to have the garden. We've got fires and heaters and covering, so we spent pretty much all day outside. It was lovely. It was very, very nice. So,
and I've been mauled by a dog.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Some wounds. Been mauled by a dog.
We've had an operation or two.
Yeah. So, that's why I'm bandaged like this. Yeah.
Yeah, so Bertie, our rescue dog, decided to...
he didn't want to go on a lead.
No.
And that's because he was a bit flighty and a bit twitchy.
We should have.
And that's the seat of his abuse, is being placed on leads and dragged about a bit. But we couldn't get him on a lead. We were in a public place. We were a bit stressed, and I saw an opportunity to grab him, his harness
from behind.
He didn't see it coming, so he literally turned and snapped, and that is the result of that.
I mean, he keeps coming up to you. He does not know that he bit you. You know he bit. I can see you when you look at him. You're like looking at him with disgust and disdain and hate. And I'm like, oh God, this is it forever. Which I know it's not. I know it's not. When you'll get over this, but I realised earlier on before we came on, I was in the garden, and I think it's the melancholy I feel is the fact that it's change. I'm not very good with change.
No.
And the fact that we've had to change our week, and we had all of these ideas, and then that's had to change. I don't like that.
No.
So
but
attitudes
anyway.
have to change as well. Which is...
What did you press there for?
I didn't. I was just pressing. I was just pressing the thing. So yeah, no.
It's like when you press, it's me that feels it, not you.
I know, but I was just sticking the sticker down.
But new book, Hypnos, book 2 in the Alex Brown series, which is exciting.
Yeah. Well, apparently it's the best. It's the better of the two books.
In what way?
Well, somebody said it was the best book that
I like this book.
You like this book?
There's a bit of everything in it.
But it's different to Harvester. I think Harvester you wanted to shock. This book you wanted to titillate.
No, titillate's the wrong word for a thriller author.
Right, what's the
thrill?
It wanted to thrill.
And suspensorize.
Okay.
Is that a word?
I don't know.
No,
You're the
I
author.
don't think it's a word. But I've made it up, so it's there. Because I'm an author, I can make words. It's allowed, apparently.
It is that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose it's going to be a good book. I know, of course it's going to be a good book.
Of course it's going to be a good book. But anyway, so we're going to be talking about that.
So what else has happened this... Well, nothing really. We've just been consumed with hospital visits and wondering what to do with Bertie.
Yeah.
I hate it when things don't go according to plan, which is life. Don't know why I think that. We've had the whole fucking world has not gone to plan.
It's not this year.
So, I don't know why I'm thinking, that. So, but he's not that traumatized. He's sat in between us.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's just you.
It's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the one with the prefrontal cortex. He's not. He's like saying, "Shut up," because I'm trying to sleep.
Let's talk about what's happening next week.
What's happening next week?
I have no idea. We've got Easter weekend. This is our Easter weekend.
This is Easter. We're working for you guys.
We are. We're working through Easter. We've got book covers to design and things like that. I've got all my art to put on to Etsy.
Editing. We've got The Candyman coming out next week, which is book 3 of The Criminal Club, aka Dean Core.
We've done The Candyman. We've done it as a mini-sode.
Yeah, we have, yes.
We don't need to do it again, do we?
We do need to do it again.
Why?
Because I've changed it slightly.
That's okay. They don't mind.
I mind.
We just get dressed the same and just edit that little bit in.
No. I've got to record The Candyman for my subscribers, and then we've got to record The Candyman for the people we want to become subscribers.
Yeah.
And then pump that out as well. And you've got to do the cover for it.
No, I've got to make a template for the cover.
That's what I mean, yeah.
You can do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, that's what we're doing this weekend.
All for you.
All for you. I actually also I've got a bit of a creative block happening. I think when I meditated this morning, it was because I am depleted.
Exhausted.
I don't know if I'm exhausted, although I know my skin probably thinks I am. I'm depleted.
You need to go to Dubai for 2 weeks.
Yeah. But I'm depleted of whatever I'm depleted of. So I need to restore that because I'm not finding any creativeness, which you understand.
Completely.
So, I think it doesn't matter whether you're writing or whether you do art or
sculpture, potter.
Yeah. I think you hit a creative wall and then you panic that you can't, it's like you don't even want to do it. Which is crazy because that's all you want to do.
Yeah.
When you want to do it.
I know. I totally hear you. I feel the same when I'm writing. I hit these blocks and it's not. I think on a psychological point, it's your inner critic that's your biggest problem. Once your inner critic starts, it gets in the way of your creative outlet. Your creative flow is retarded.
You're saying I'm retarded?
No, I'm saying your creative flow is retarded.
It is. It definitely feels like there's some kind of block because I want to do it so much and I feel like, oh my God, I've got time, I can do it, and then I can't. And then you panic because you can't do it. So, yeah.
It's all in the critic.
So I'm going to be practical and I'm going to update my Etsy shop, which I have not done for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be very practical and put 100 images.
We'll put the link in here so you can have a view.
Yeah, please come follow me. You don't have to buy anything. Just follow me. But if you want a commission of any kind, I'll do it. So, but yeah, I just, I need something to kickstart my
creative flow. Your juices.
My juices.
Mm-hmm. Should we get to it?
Oh, yes. Let's do it.
So, this is the second book in the Alex Brown series. Technically the third if you include Troll as the prequel.
We've not done Troll, have we?
Troll is more of a prologue than it is a...
Okay, we've had this already, haven't we? Epilogue, prologue, prequel. What's the difference?
Well, the prequel to it just introduced Alex as a character and Renton as a character.
So do a summary of Alex then, because the series is about Alex. Because when you originally wrote this, the series was Brock.
It was, yeah. I thought I would have legs with Brock, but I actually can't have legs with him not in the way that I want to.
Because you don't identify with him. You identify more with Alex, or you know you can do more with Alex?
I can do more with her. I can't do more with Brock without it becoming unrealistic to a certain degree. And it will become the same book over and over again.
Yeah.
He just kills people.
And actually, to be fair, Harvester was primarily from the point of view of Alex. I mean, you flitted to Brock, but not as often as in the beginning.
Like Brock remains Alex's main antagonist throughout the series. You know, he's not going to be dying anytime soon. You know, and that's a clue to people out there that have not read the unpublished books that are being edited at the moment, because Brock plays a part in all of those books.
You want him to turn good, though, don't you?
No.
As a reader, I'm reading a book at the moment. It's the same urban fantasy series that I've been mentioned before in previous episodes, and she falls in love with an evil person, but he's not evil. Like, he's done evil things in the past, but he's not evil, and you want him to be good, and you just forgive all of that because he does good things now. So you sort of want that to happen. As a reader, I want this really nice man. I want her and him to live happily ever after, which may never happen. I
think not in this book, but in the next book, you kind of warm to Brock, but he just ruins it all for you. And in the next one as well, the one that's, you know, that I've just finished, he ruins it for you in that as well. You warm to him again, and then he's like, "Oh my god, what a douche!" Yeah, and I think that's it's quite a good.
At the end of Harvester, he you don't warm to him, but you don't really give him a second thought. But then when he calls her, and is so horrible and nasty and narcissistic,
his true self comes through.
Yeah, that's it. Very narcissistic, actually. Extremely so. And then you think, oh, mustn't forget. This is the thing with narcissists.
They reel you in.
They reel you in, and then they push you away, and then they reel you back in again. And every time they reel you in, you are weaker and weaker and weaker. It's called gaslighting.
Yeah, that's not gaslighting.
It is.
No.
Do something nice, say something horrible. Do something nice, say something horrible. So you don't know where you're coming from. You are confused.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But the term gaslighting is from a film where the main antagonist is a woman who is basically made to feel crazy by this person's behaviour, which is where the term gaslighting comes from.
Yeah,
so
I guess
you're
in
a state of confusion. Does he love me? Does he not love me? And you're constantly trying to be perfect for this person, and of course you'll never be perfect for this person. And when they start manipulating your own experiences into something that didn't happen, that's when it gets kind of serious, really.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? We know about this. We've seen it firsthand, whether it's subtle or not subtle, and you just think, gosh, well, what's the other one called? That's not gaslighting then. Is there a term for it where they are horrible, then they're nice, and they're horrible, then they're nice? Because I feel that even narcissists don't really truly, you know, they intend to do it, but they don't know any different. Like psychopaths or sociopaths, that is what they know, how to manage the world. Like, the things I do because I
think you can have narcissistic traits.
Everybody can.
That's learnt behaviour from somebody in your life, typically a parent. I think the correlation between narcissist and psychopath, the fine line of that is conscious thought. I don't think a lot of narcissists don't know what they're doing, because they think it's normal behaviour. What they're doing is normal. There's nothing wrong with what they're doing. Psychopaths know what they're doing, and they'll manipulate a situation because they find enjoyment in that, where they're affecting that person. That's psychopathy.
I hope I'm not narcissistic. I don't intend to be.
You're not a narcissist.
We've had this conversation before. I think I fear being a narcissist.
I don't think you evolve into one.
You're just born that way.
You are. Well, you are. Narcissists are basically born that way.
I think through my meditation today, I am so depleted of light or energy or whatever you want to call it, and I need to just heal myself because I have thought out to other people so much. Like, obviously my concern has been for you, my concern has been for how you react towards Bertie, my concern is for my mum. Sadly last year she lost her last week she lost her dog, you know, all of these things. And then my children, and it's just, you know, my members, my work, my art. You forget yourself, don't you? I don't think that's narcissism.
No.
Good. Okay, that's fine. That's one green tick that I can do on my to-do list.
You're not a narcissist.
Not a narcissist.
You're definitely not a narcissist. I think you're okay.
Oh, that's okay, yeah.
I'm probably more narcissist than you.
Well, why would you say that?
Well, because I've had a narcissist in my life. So my learnt behaviour. You know, I'm fortunate to have you in my life where a line was drawn. So that behaviour became highlighted. You know, if I say something or do something, you are, you know, you're quick to point that out to change that behaviour. You know, imagine if I hadn't had that.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, because you isolate so well that whoever loves you, because you've isolated, you pull them into your isolation and punish them for being there.
So
by isolating them, by icing them out. I don't let you do that.
No.
And you don't let me do that, which is good. I mean, that's the one thing therapy has taught both of us, is if we see each other isolated, we say you're isolated.
Yeah.
And even if remember when we first started therapy, and say you would say to me you're isolated, or I'd say to you you're isolated, you go, I'm not. I'm not. And it's like, you are. You can tell. We can tell. And you can tell. You can recognize when other people are isolated. It's just how you deal with it. How you can't go up to a complete stranger or somebody that you know relatively well and go, sorry, you're isolated. And they're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I know, right?
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Oh, you're isolated.
Okay. Should we get to it? The book?
Right. Chapter 1, Harvester.
No, Hypnos.
Hypnos, that's it. Chapter 1, Hypnos. Here we come.
Okay, so, right, strap yourself in.
Okay.
It's a bit rough, this chapter.
Oh.
Yeah, my inciting incident is first chapter, basically. Ready?
What do you mean by inciting incident? As in, that's it? That's the whole story of the book?
Well, it creates conflict.
Okay.
Jamal was thinking that if time could be reversed now, this would be the right time to do it. His right hand was gripped in a vice in his dad's old shed, with a lunatic screaming in his ear. He watched the South African reach for the lump hammer on the shed wall, leaving a white outline showing where it should always belong. Like a golfer, Van de Jong, or Jongy to his mates, took a couple of dry swings to the tips of Jamal's fingers. On the fourth, it's quite apt, isn't it? On the fourth swing, it connected. The middle finger was the first to snap, followed immediately by the ring, then the forefinger, and finally the little one. Jongy stood back. Fucking hell, eh? Look at that, eh? He said to Errol. The little bastard pinky finger, Errol. Only bashed the top of it, eh? Errol shuffled to his feet. On his feet, a small Zulu from Bulawayo appeared at the hand trapped in the vice. Jamal was hanging from the said vice, trying to support his trapped arm, screaming, the pain searing through his limb like a hot needle. You okay?
Yeah, no, I'm laughing at you.
He daren't look at the vice, eyes fixed to the floor, sweat pouring down his face.
Is he not screaming then?
Well, he has been
screaming. Yeah,
he has been screaming
the pain.
Errol reached for a pair of pliers that was marked out next to the lump hammer, felt the weight like a plier connoisseur. What you doing? Jongy asked Errol, who looked at him, showed him the pliers, and then motioned to the little finger, still standing proudly next to the other smashed digits. Jongy looked at Jamal. Errol wants to tidy up your hand. Your little finger isn't as smashed up as he'd like it. Jamal looked up. Fuck you. I'm connected, you know. I know people. Ooh, Jongy taunted before tapping Errol, who laughed as well. Errol turned to Jamal and Errol turned and Jamal screamed as the pliers came closer. Errol, the boy has been through enough, eh? Let's see if he cooperates. Errol nodded and moved out of the way, and Jongy crouched. He looked at the hand, which was turning dusky blue around the edges of the vice. He grabbed Jamal's hair and pulled his head up with it. You only have to agree to our terms, and I'll let you go, Jongy said. He was well dressed, cropped hair, 6'3", and made of what Jamal could only assume was human steel. There was a coldness to his attitude that was unnerving. Well turned out, he didn't fit the usual reprobate he dealt with. His South African accent was menacing and threatening. Jamal fought a hard corner. He knew he had a winner. He just needed to hang on a bit longer. The week previous, Jamal had been hacking American government files and had come across a file marked Gamma Top Secret. The details of the file was titled Hypnos. After deep searches on the conventional web and the dark web, he finally made it to what looked like the vaults of the CIA in Langley. Within minutes, he had downloaded the entire Hypnos file, including the software driver. And still not knowing fully what he had, the files and the software that had this much security often meant secrets that shouldn't be made public, or access to software drivers that could be used to aid further his criminal behaviour. When Jamal
How do people get to be a criminal? Like so if you come across a file, if you have to go to the CIA to get a file, and then you come across the file and it's like all got all the security, I mean, I would step back from that.
Yeah, but if you're a hacker, this is.
But how do
you could monetize this as a product. You could use it.
But how do you get to be a criminal? Like, why would you do that? Why would you have that stress? It'd be like having an affair. It'd be like so stressful. I wouldn't. But I'm so lazy.
Well, this is, this guy makes a living out of doing stuff like this. You'll see it as we go on into the story that this is, he's a guy.
Do we find out how?
We know who Jamal is. Jamal was in Harvester. When Tracy Stubbs was evading the police. When she was making her way across London, she was talking to a guy called Jamal. This is the Jamal we're talking about.
Oh, see what you did there.
Yeah. So, and that will become more apparent later in the book. But this is what he does for a living. He protects people. He creates alibis. He's like a forger. He's the digital forger. But on the side, he also hacks stuff. And he's looking for something he can sell. And he's found this software. He has no idea what it is, but because it's locked up in so many digital vaults, he thinks it's going to have some sort of money attached to it. He can sell it. And that's why Jongy's there. Because they know he's got it and they want it.
Okay. Get back to the book. Bella's.
That's Bella having a drink. Listen, it's cute. She's finished. When Jamal opened the file, it seemed unbelievable. The software program that could upload instructions to the receiver, and the receiver could be made to do whatever the operator wanted. All the software needed was an app-based game, which used eye movement to control the game and soundtrack. This caused a triad of hypnosis to the user, opening the brainwaves for the software to be uploaded. Bollocks, he said out loud. He quickly found the game that fitted the parameters of the software of the App Store, and invited his friends to play the game. Jamal had already hacked most of his friends' phones, using their location signals to baffle the police for ongoing jobs he did for the criminal underworld. They agreed to play, and when he knew they were playing the game, the software did everything else. Rufus, Jamal's longtime friend from school, was playing a game in the local pub. Watching him... What are you laughing at?
Rufus.
Yeah, I think Mungo's in here as well. Have
they read the book?
No, I don't think so. Watching him, he had access to the front camera. He could see the progress that he was making while playing it and uploaded the software. Jamal hacked into the security camera at the back of the bar. With free text, Jamal typed "steal some beer from the beer tap and drink it in front of the landlord." The software ran algorithms. A few seconds later, the information was being uploaded into the game. Not more than 5 seconds later, Rufus put his phone down and walked off. He came into view of the CCTV camera and stopped. He turned almost robotically to the bar, took a step, and picked up a half-full pint of beer and tipped it on the floor. The owner of the pint took a step back, demonstrating his anger at what Rufus had done, being quickly held back by the man's friend. Rufus didn't even skip a beat. He leaned over the bar and pulled on the tap. The beer, clear in the footage, was filling up the glass, and the beer drinker, now incensed, Jamal, stifled a laugh. When the glass was almost full, Rufus took it and started to drink, leaving the tap on, spilling beer all over the floor. At this point, the landlord came into view and was remonstrating. Rufus stood back and drained the beer while sticking 2 fingers up at the bar. It was at this point Rufus was wrestled to the ground and dragged out of the bar by the bouncers. A more sinister exercise, Jamal's cousin, Salma, she worked in the bank as a cashier. He instructed her to steal £1,000 secretly, in a way no one would ever know, deliver it to one of his dead drops by 9 p.m. that night. Jamal went to the dead drop, scoped the area, then reached into the bush by the phone box. His fingers found the bundle of notes. His heart quickened as he touched them. Pulling them out, he didn't need to count it. He knew he was on a winner. Back at the garage with Errol and Jongy, Jamal, now regretting ever clamping eyes on Hypnos. "Give us the software and we'll leave you alone," Jongy said. "I don't believe you," Jamal replied. The pain was searing through his arm, the ulnar and radius grinding together in the vice. Jongy laughed. "He doesn't believe us, Errol." "What's all that about, eh?" Jamal was soaked in sweat, his knees hurting. He tried to get to his feet, but the pain in his hand was unbearably painful. Just moving irritated the nerve receptors trapped around the vice. "Does your friend speak?" Jamal asked. "Who, Errol?" Jongy turned and looked at Errol, pulling drawers out and tipping them on the floor. "No, some kaffir cut his tongue out when he was a boy. Good thing about that is that he doesn't say a fucking word, eh?" Jongy said, trying to help Jamal up. "Fetch that stool there, Errol. The boy needs a little comfort." Errol stopped and looked at Jongy, nodded and walked over to the stool, and he kicked it over. "Now we've got the unpleasantries out of the way, why can't you just give me the software my boss wants, eh?" "You won't be able to run it," Jamal said. "How so?" "It's like Pac-Man, right?" Errol laughed. Even Jongy turned to look. "I don't get to hear that often." "Yeesh. Tell me more." "The algorithm is difficult to interpret." Jamal screwed up his face, the pain still building. He was trying to keep things under control. "Then teach me," Jongy retorted. It was Jamal's turn to laugh. "You think I'm some sort of rock spider? You be careful there, young man. I'll clap you right out, eh?" "I wasn't trying to offend you." Jamal's breath was getting shallower, clearly in more pain. "The algorithm is complex. It took me a few hours to figure it out. But before you say anything, me figuring out is not me being able to teach you in a few hours." Jongy stood. His back was hurting. He scratched his head and looked at Errol. Nothing. I don't know. That's Afrikaans. Do you know what that is?
No. Jowl no fine. What is that? Do you want to Google it? Hey Siri, open Google Translator.
Okay, I found this.
Right, what is it? How do you spell it? JAWEL.
NOFN.
Yeah. I don't know. What do I do?
Hit sound.
It's Afrikaans, English. What does it mean? English. Doesn't mean anything. Translate from Frisian.
Try it. Anyway, it's Afrikaans. "We're running things from here. You is the man, yeesh? Do I get paid?" "Fuck no, you cheeky locksop. You'll be grateful I don't kill you in the process." Jongy unwound the vice and the hand flopped out, Jamal catching it before it hit the floor. "Right, you get your ass over to that computer and do your thing for me." There was a sound from the front of the house, and Jamal slumped to his shoulders. Someone had returned from work. Errol grabbed Jongy's hand and yanked it towards the door. "I know, Errol. Go sort that fucking noise out, eh? Be quick." "What do you mean, sort that noise out?" Jamal asked. "That's my mom." "Shut up, man." Errol disappeared. There was a shuffle, then a banging and a screaming, then silence. "There we go, man. All is well. Let's get on with it," Jongy stated. "What do you mean it's all sorted?" The pain in Jamal's hand had disappeared. "You just concentrate on dealing with that and I'll go and see what Errol is up to, eh?" Jongy walked to the door, which was slightly ajar. Jamal got up and followed him, holding his battered hand with his good one. He peered through the door. What the fuck, man? What are you doing, you filthy kaffir? Get off the woman! What the fuck? Jamal followed into the kitchen, which was connected to the garage. Errol was molesting Jamal's mother on the floor.
Why did you put that in? Why did you do that? That's disgusting.
Even Jongy finds this disgusting. Jamal followed into the kitchen, was connected to the garage. I don't know, we said that bit. Jongy grabbed Errol by the collar and pulled him off. Jamal came closer and realised that his mum had been decapitated.
What the fuck? John! How did you think of things like that?
What do you mean?
How did you, when you were writing that, like, how did that come about? Oh, let's molest the mother. Oh no, I know, let's take her head off. How did he decapitate her?
He's got a machete.
Oh my God.
Her head had been tossed into the sink, and a large pool of blood forming around the jagged mess of the flesh and bone and skin. Her legs still shaking. Sinking to the floor, Jamal sobbed. For fuck's sake, Errol, look what you've done, Jongy clocked Jamal sobbing on the floor, holding out his hand in protest at Errol, who was wiping the machete on the tea towel, his penis still hanging from his pants.
I know, I blocked it now.
Seriously, man, take care of it. I meant bringing the lady to the garage so she could be with her son, not cut her fucking head off and then fuck her carcass. When they cut your tongue out, they should have kept cutting till yours fell off too. He turned to Jamal. Come on, boy, let's go back to the room. We don't need to see this. He looked back at Errol. And put your dick away, eh? You'll scare the fucking cats. Fuck you and your dumb psychic. I ain't doing squat for you. Jamal didn't know how to continue. Fuck it, Jongy said. He walked up to Jamal on his knees and he grabbed his face. His free fist smashed into the bridge of his nose, knocking Jamal clean out. Right, take care of this, Jongy said as he started dragging Jamal back to the garage. And that means bring the body to the garage, man. And get a mop and bucket, eh? Clean this fucking mess right up, you deuce. Errol nodded and came over and started helping Jongy take Jamal back into the garage. It took Errol an hour to clean up the mess, and when the door opened and closed again, hello! Both Errol and Jongy exchanged glances. That'll be my dad, Jamal said, his face swollen, his fingers hanging by the skin, barely lifting his head. Is it? I'll go sort this shit out, eh? You stay and guard the boy. Please don't kill my dad, Jamal pleaded feebly. Sorry boy, we're a bit late for shit like that. Leave me be and I'll have this sorted in a jiffy, eh? Jongy left the room. Seconds later he came back following Jamal's dad, who had his hands on his head. What have you got yourself messed up into now, Jamal? The booted and suited man said, late 50s, professional type, well spoken. Jamal looked at the four sobbing, his shame apparent. Where's your mum? The man asked. Hey, about that, eh? Jongy pivoted around the man holding the Nighthawk custom-made 9mm pistol. She bumped into my kaffir friend, Errol, jerking his head to the black man in the corner. He was wearing his trademark flat cap Pringle Golfer's black sweater, a loud Hawaiian shirt poking out the top and the bottom, dirty Farah pants with snakeskin slip-on shoes. Errol was so lazy that even the slip-on bit was a bit much. The backs of the shoes were worn down where they were worn like slippers. What do you mean? They killed her dad, Jamal said, his sob heavy. His dad finally saw the hand and the fingers and registered his son's battered face. You see, if things had just gone smoothly, we wouldn't have to resort to doing things like this. The report of the gun was dull, but loud.
Oh my God.
Jamal's father stared at Jongy in the eyes, almost knowing his fate. The round smashed through his father's face and out the back of his head, smattering the wall behind with its contents. You fucking animals. You fuck. He was cut short and Jongy punched him again, then again, and then again. His face was a mess, his body slumped against the office chair, gently rocking the unconscious body as though it was going to sleep. Clean this fucking mess up, Errol? Looking at Jongy in disbelief. Errol looked at Jongy in disbelief. I know I made the fucking mess. You're the kaffir. Do as you're fucking told, man. Holstering the pistol. Jongy pulled his phone out, found the number he needed, hit dial. The line answered immediately. Things have gone a bit crap here. We need a clean-up team in. Get me Me, the cafe, and the boy wander to the location. He nodded. On the other end was talking. The line went dead. Okay, we go. Let's get ready. Box this shit up. The cleanup boys will be here to get rid of the bodies, and we're going for a little trip. They surveyed the room. What a fucking mess, eh?
How old is Jongy then?
Oh, it's like 30s or 40s. A bit of white supremacist. South African white supremacist.
So do you practice that accent?
I try to.
It works.
Is it alright?
Yeah, you're going to do it throughout the whole book?
Probably.
Is he in the whole book?
He's in most of it.
Is he?
Yeah.
So he's like Brock. He's like the Brock that Alex chases.
Yeah, so Brock's now a subplot within the story. So he's constantly simmering. And this is the new plot.
So Jamal is the victim.
He's a victim in this, yeah.
You almost feel sorry for him.
You do almost feel sorry for him, yeah.
Oh. I was talking actually on one of my lives about Bertie and the fact that he bit you. And I was saying it's like having a child and then finding out that they've committed, like Jamal's parents, horrible crimes, or that they are evil or baddies, you know, baddies. And that whole sinking sensation that you haven't done enough to prevent it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it feels like.
They're not his parents. Spoiler alert.
What do you mean?
Not his parents.
Is he adopted?
It's all a front. It's all part of his world. As we unpack his world will get unpacked as the story goes on. He lives quite a deceptive life.
What, does his parents know that they're his parents? Do they think his parents?
Yeah, they're employed to make it like they are his parents.
How old's Jamal?
Early 20s, like boy genius.
Oh, I didn't like that. It was a bit straight in.
The next chapter is really nice. It's Alex with her therapist.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That was a quick chapter. Are they all that quick?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That'll be in a nice short podcast. Look, we're only 40 minutes.
They're
in.
the same length. They're 2,500 words ish per chapter. Same as
Wait, the Harvester wasn't. No, Harvester was long.
No, they weren't. They were either two. The longest chapter was just under 3,000 words.
Okay.
The shortest chapter in Harvester was 600 words. All of these are about 2,500.
Oh, that was good.
So anyway, don't forget Criminal Club. John Wayne. No, it's not John Wayne Gacy.
The Candyman.
It's the Candyman.
Although when you watch this, this has been coming out Monday, is it?
Yeah.
All right. So the Candyman. So you
Candyman
still can.
It's coming out
join.
this week. Yeah. So.
And I think if you're joining the Criminal Club now, you'll get all of them.
You get all of them.
But
well worth it.
Yeah, I mean that will change in the future. That you will only get the month plus the bonus. But at the moment, if you join, you get all of the books.
All of them, yeah.
So it's worth it.
So £2 a month or £20 for the whole year.
I mean, seriously. And that is a video, an ebook, a short story. The ebook has all the references, the research. Sorry.
That's it.
And whatever else you decide to give them, pictures. I think it's nice actually because you get a little of the true crime research, and then also we do our mini-sode as well, which will be linked on your own little dashboard, so you don't have to go to the podcast to find out the mini-sode.
That's it. Yeah.
So you get our conversation about the psychology of it all, because
Candyman's really fucked up.
I know we've done that one. I don't know why we have to do it again.
Because it's in this format.
Okay. I don't understand. The others aren't in this format.
Yeah, they are.
Okay. Right.
You got that crystal there for protection.
I've got that crystal here for healing. I'm healing my mouth. I've depleted of all goodness, and so therefore it's coming out in a council. Joy.
But you're still lovely.
Thank you.
Should we wrap it up?
I think we should. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to join the Criminal Club, and we'll see you next week with
chapter 2. Alex with her therapist.
Yeah, that'll be
And I hope you enjoyed Jongy. If you make some comments, want to comment on Facebook, let us know, and we'll see you next week.
Don't forget to share the podcast, and don't forget, never judge a book by its cover.
And stay frosty.
Bye.
Bye.